The most valuable asset you have as a salesperson is the depth and quality of your client relationships.
Would you like to introduce Mr. Sir?
Sure. G'day, Damien. Today we're talking about repeat business and building lasting customer relationships. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. And what a novel idea, Peter. Who would have thought if a customer buys from you that they might come back and buy again if you actually nurture the relationship?
Exactly. So it's not so much a matter of like closing that one sale. It's more a matter of opening up a long-term relationship, because the most valuable asset you have as a salesperson is the depth and quality of your client relationships. And we often forget that in this heat to close this month, close this quarter. Closing is definitely important, but
Mm.
closing in a way that maintains and builds the relationship, don't you think?
100%. And a lot of people, when we look at that, we don't even think about it from the beginning of the relationship. When we talk about advanced prospecting, it's finding the right customers that are going to be right for you and qualifying them. And you can even start that relationship at the very beginning. Created for one client what I call the Platinum Club. They're opening a restaurant. And what
Yeah.
we did was we found, where was the high value clients located, most likely to live, and we sent out a ticket. It was welcome to the Platinum Club, and it was platinum in color, printed. It cost a bit of money to prepare, but it gave them one free meal. And what the principle was is you're looking at this lifetime value of the customer, taking care to prepare, have a great relationship right at the very beginning. So these people would come in. Now, of course, the restaurant owner knew that these people had received that these were potentially high value customers that could have ongoing repeat business. So they come in with their free Platinum Club card. They got the best service. Absolutely. So started, and at first impressions, exceptional. How many of those came back as repeat customers? All of them, because you started at the very beginning.
Exactly. And this circles back to the other key aspect of the sales masterclass, which is looking at like segmenting your territory, whether it's a geographic territory or an industry territory, and working out who those high net worth clients are likely to be
Mm-hmm.
for you. And then once you've done that in terms of their revenue and their future potential, you're thinking, how can I treat these people from the beginning? Everything I'm going to be doing with these people from beginning to end is about thinking
Mm-hmm.
long term. I know I've had hugely profitable client relationships, and the most profitable ones are the longest term ones. And one of the key things we're looking at in the NextGen Sales Masterclass is how to go about doing that in your patch, identifying them initially, but then how do you build those long-term relationships where you're both getting a lot of value? What do you think, Damien?
100%. And that's what it is about, from building that relationship. And how often have you seen it out there where people promise a whole bunch of things and then they fail to deliver?
Yeah.
And I prefer, as you know, I'm a Star Trek nerd, and I watch Star Trek and I like it. And there was Dr. Scott from the original series. He was known as the miracle worker. And then I remember in one episode, Captain Kirk talked to him and said, why is it whenever you say a duration that it's going to take you to do, you do it in half the time? And he goes, well, how else would I be known as a miracle worker? I always double the amount of time I say it's going to take.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
that's one of the things you want to be doing is not only do you overpromise, but you over deliver. And you have,
Yeah.
and that really comes down to having the right systems and processes in place. Otherwise, you'll be, working extremely ridiculous hours, and you don't want to be doing that. But having the right systems and processes in place, which is what we talk about in next gen sales, it's having those right systems in place. And we share that in the masterclass so that you can put that in place, work in an intelligent way, work smarter, not harder, and create those ongoing relationships, but consistently doing it.
Exactly. And one of the things I've found in working with elite salespeople is they have this way of making things happen fast, slowly. And
I love
by
that.
that I mean they slow down in the beginning of the relationship to build that relationship,
Mm.
and then they're waiting for the clients or the customers cue to know when the sale needs to take place. The opposite is more amateurish or old school salespeople who are attempting to close from the first time they meet somebody. So you're building the relationship, building the
It's so
understanding,
annoying.
yeah, building that unique understanding they're looking for, and then the client will give you the cue that now it's time. Like I'm ready now, because we can't forget the client wants what you're selling. They need what
Mm.
you're selling. But like Jack Nicholson saying, "You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall." They need you. They need what you're offering to them. They want it. They don't want to delay it any longer than is necessary, but they
Mm.
just want to make sure that you're the right partner and that you've understood their needs well enough to really maximize their outcomes. So that's where it's slow and fast. It's slow in the beginning, then it's much faster in the end. If you do the opposite, if you try and close too hard too early, it either won't happen at all or it'll be a very slow process as they learn to retrust you.
I love that analogy, and I love that you throwing in some pop culture references there as well. That's awesome. But you're right. It is about creating. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, we know that if you're in a dating scene, for example, someone comes and you go on that first date and they're like, "I love you. You're the best ever." It's you going, "Oh, wait a minute," and that's what closing from the beginning is like. That's what it feels like. And we
Yeah,
know that now. There's so much heavy closing out there right at the beginning of the relationships. Hey, we need to have a bit of a date first before we go any further.
yeah, you've got to get to know each other first, just to see whether we're good together or not. And the clients are thinking the same way: Are we good together? Are we good together? Is this product or service good for me? And what I find works best with high performing salespeople is at the beginning of the relationship is all about deepening understanding.
Mm.
I'm focused on understanding you, understanding your environment, understanding the problems you're facing, opportunities that you'd like to explore, and then you're building that relationship, building that comfort level, and then it's ready to boom. And it could boom. It has in my case, and many high performing salespeople I've worked with. It can work for the rest of your life. You can have this. You can have clients for 10 or 20 years,
Exactly.
not just one sale. It's not one sale. It's a ever going relationship.
But that's exactly right. What you're saying, it is an ever-going relationship. You're creating, and I know from my perspective, the best clients that I've had have become friends. They've
Yeah,
become
yeah,
close friends because we develop that relationship. It's not just a business. We're actually because we have that friendship. The thing with that too is you're creating a loyalty, a commitment, and when you have that friendship, it's very difficult for the competition to step in because you have that loyalty and commitment to each other, and you
yeah,
create that
exactly.
through your friendships. When you think about your friends, how often with your genuine friends, you'll go to the end of the earth for them, and it's the same with
Yeah,
your
yeah.
customers.
Exactly. And if you look at what clients are looking for, you look at client research, the number one marker clients are asking for from a sales relationship is someone who uniquely understands my needs and my
Mm.
environment. They uniquely understand me, not that they can close me or it happened really fast. It's they get it. And the flip side of this, from the salesperson's perspective, is it's a benefit for you to do that too, because you want to find out early and often whether
Mm.
this is a real prospect or not. So
Yeah.
if you understand their needs and what they're looking for, it's not what you're offering, or it's not going to work. The budget's not right. The decision making's not right. The time, something's not right. Maybe technically, you want to get out of there early because you don't want to waste time, literally waste time presenting and selling and meeting with these people they're never going to buy from you. So from your point of view, time is very precious for you as a salesperson. And in the NextGen Sales Masterclass, we teach you how to maximize the leverage of your time by using the time and the skills with the right opportunities, the right people at the right time.
Yeah, I love that. And something I learned too late in life was that no amount of skill fixes a poor partner choice. And what you're saying is right. At the very beginning, you need to be finding out, is this going to be a good long-term relationship? Because, if it's not, then it creates a drain on your time as you're referencing. And I've done that where I've, early in my career was chasing all these different sales and customers and people that really had no interest and I was probably annoying the hell out of them. And it doesn't work. And they're certainly not going to refer you if you're going for this hard close. So what you're
Yeah.
talking about about
Yeah.
starting slow, really getting to know the
Starting slow.
person. And does
And
it,
in every business, it's about long-term clients. You even think if they go, okay, retailers, like going into a retailer and with your trolley and buying your groceries, you think, well, that's not really a long-term transaction. It absolutely is,
Mm,
because those retailers are after long-term shoppers that are going to keep coming back to the supermarket and buying those goods
yeah,
every week or every whatever you do your shopping. So in every business, you're looking for long-term customers. You're looking for people to repeat that purchase, if you like. So it is a matter about understanding what they're looking for. You look at the retail ads; it's all about showing consumers with a problem and showing the product solving it. It's the same piece. But the most important part is, well, how do you do this? And that's what the Next Gen Sales Masterclass is about, to take these ideas and how to apply it to your particular client set or customer set in your industry.
exactly. And the component to add to that, which a lot of people don't think about, and we certainly cover in Next Gen Sales and in the masterclass, because as we say, your sales future is right now. And we bring this technology forward to you. So we bring it from the future back to now so you can actually use it, is creating, because we all operate from habit. So it's creating habits so that when people buy something, when you think about it, how often do you, when you're buying something, how often do you think about the type of toothpaste you buy? You just buy what you habitually buy. And you
Yeah.
want to create that relationship. That's where what you're talking about, Peter, is creating that relationship slow so you understand each other's needs. But what you're doing is creating an unconscious connection so that when somebody needs what you've got to offer, they come to you and they keep coming back to you out of habit, because it's
Yeah.
then not a conscious decision. It's a habitual behavior that you are the go-to person to solve their problems.
Yeah, I like that example too, Damien, about toothpaste. Like, I've always buy one brand of toothpaste, always have mum did, dad did, and so forth. People,
Yeah.
no matter how good the new one looks or sounds or how cheap it is, it's a bit of a risk. So if you're selling to someone that's got an existing relationship with somebody else, no
Mm.
matter how good your product looks or sounds, it's always a risk. That's why when we're involved in pitching, which we'll talk about in another episode, most pitches are won by the incumbent, the people that already have the business. It's like 60%. It's a very large number because it's a risk changing suppliers. So you don't want to increase that risk by closing too early. You want to decrease that risk by building trust and building relationship long term.
Exactly. And that's what I love working with you, Peter, in the Next Gen Sales, because your sales future is right now. And we have such a connection on focusing on the client and their future and our future relationship. And we cover that off in detail in the masterclass with practical experience so that you walk away with actually implementing these systems. Pete, always wonderful.
I can't wait, Damien. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get in the room.
It's going to be awesome. I love
I
it.
don't want to talk about it. I want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's so exciting to be actually get out there and work in practical ways. I love it and I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.